Hello and welcome back. So this week we want to focus a little bit on all the preparation work that's currently going into our next season. So obviously it is winter time, so therefore we are, for one, making videos to keep you all up to date. For the other, we are applying for funding all over again, which are a couple of grants this year, but also we are starting to have conversations with the Ministry of Education, for example, to produce some videos for them that then can be used in schools all across Austria and hopefully soon all over Europe. So we are getting more into the educational side of things, but also we are developing 3 new projects that we want to work on in this season, which I will tell about a lot more in the next ones. Then, of course, there's also always some stuff to get ready on the boat. And for this winter, we have a few designated big projects. You might remember that last year we did a lot of work on the outside of the boat. We replaced the standing rigging, we redid basically the entire hull on the outside, and a lot more. So all that happened on Egina Island last year. If you want to see it once again, just check the link here. And this year we are staying in the water for the winter, so we do focus a little bit more on the inside work. For one, also again, it was a little bit tricky to get back to Italy these last couple of weeks, but last weekend was actually the first one in 2021 that we managed to visit the boat. It's our first attempt to get back to the boat since we came home for a short visit for Christmas. And step 1 these days is to go and get a corona test. So that's what we're doing right now. Not because we need it for the way to Italy, but we needed to get back out of Italy within 72 hours, I think.
Yeah.
So right now, corona test, then breakfast, because we have to wait for the results. If they're negative, we can make a move to Italy and spend the weekend there to try to do some work. Actually, there's a bunch of tools in the back there already. So that's where we're going. Fingers crossed. First project. We are actually finally converting our side cabin. So if you have been on board in the last years already, you will know that we used to have 3 double cabins on the boat. Since we are going on expeditions, we are always having interns on board and lots of them don't know each other. It just seemed so much more convenient to have a couple of single bunks available and not put 2 strangers in the same bed. We ripped out all our galley, we ripped out the side cabin, and basically the inside of the sailboat right now is a bit of a construction site, which means that the carpenter and me has to come out a little bit. And Binal was amazing helping me out the last couple of days, and of course also in the ripping out phase. But things are actually already coming together pretty nicely. The boat looked a lot better after this last weekend than it did before. But have a look at how this went. Hello lovely people, hope everyone had a nice weekend. So did we. Actually chipped away quite a bit in the last 2 days. And well, we showed you what it looked like before, so here is what we did this weekend. Let's see. So the table is still pretty much the same, a little more messy than usual. Then nothing changed in our storage area, well, current storage area. This is now one bunk on the top with a load of storage underneath it, and another bunk underneath that with even more storage underneath it. Then, well, that piece is just standing here right now. But our kitchen is taking shape. So this is the area you already knew, with the oven on the top, storage underneath, the work surface here with the big drawer in front, my hideaway seat in the corner, and then over there where it's currently still loose, this is where the stove is gonna be, electric. And over here we got our sink, well, two sinks actually, with a fancy new water tap which doesn't do anything yet, all in process, but it looks a lot better than it did a couple of days ago. Boat project number 2 that is in process. We want to make sure that we have enough power on the boat. Especially now after the Galley Refit, we will switch to electric cooking, which means no more gas on the boat, which again means no risk of explosions on the boat, which is always a little bit of a, well, it's a good feeling to know there's nothing on the boat that can potentially go boom. That means we need more power. Already in the last years, the power was always precious. Especially if you have 6 people on the boat, they might want to be using a microscope. We spent a lot of time on laptops just punching all the data into spreadsheets and doing basically the work that comes after all the field work and the snorkeling and the documentation underwater. So we do need power on the boat. So we are upgrading our batteries, which means this year, well, we used to have 200 amp hours of 24 volts, which is not bad, but not great, especially because it was old school lead batteries. Big, heavy monsters. We did got those second-hand back in Bodrum in our first year on this boat. So they did a decent job, but they are getting tired and they are not holding a lot of power anymore. So this year we take the plunge and we upgrade to lithium batteries, which means, for one, they are a lot lighter, they are a lot smaller, and you can actually use the entire lot. So while lead batteries, you can only use the first 50% of them, so really you only get to use half the capacity. And the capacity used to be 200 amp hours, now we're upping that game to 370 amp hours. That means that we have 4 times as much power available as we did before. Great stuff. In order to keep that power going, we do, however, also need some solar, or some way to get more energy. And while the final answer is not yet there, something will happen before we start the expeditions this year. One of the options is I have been training on my welding to be able to fix some stuff myself, but also to weld stainless steel nicely. So option 1, put a solar arch on the boat and double or triple the solar that we have right now. Nice option because it's quiet. It's solar. You take sunshine and you make power out of it. It doesn't get much better than that. So that would really be one of my prime options that I really like, but it involves a bit of a reconstruction of the stern of the boat because we have to build the arch. It has to be secured, it has to be welded, it has to be mounted. It is a bit of an operation. Option number 2. We can put a generator on the boat. I know, kind of goes all against what I just said earlier, the not having anything that can go bang, because the small, lightweight, cheaper generators are all gasoline powered. We would be back at the stage where something is on board that is rather sensitive to heat and fire. So I don't really like that option, but it would be a reasonable priced, easy way out of things. Option number 3. Roughly the same price range as a generator comes a more sophisticated charge controller for the alternator. So it is a box that goes between the alternator of the engine and the house battery. And it's basically lying to the alternator, telling it that the battery is really empty, when really it's almost full. So that just speeds up the whole charging process a whole lot, and that's the whole idea of that thing. Cost roughly about the same as the generator, and I'm not 100% sure if it really works that well. Some people love it and swear by it, others are not entirely convinced. If you have an idea of the best possible way to get more power, please do drop us a line, write us a comment, do something down below. I'm happy for any piece of advice at this stage. So, those are two of the big projects that are happening on the boat right now. Don't worry, it will all be done before the 1st of May, which is the time when we start setting sail again. And up until now, that's it from my end. If you have any ideas about the charging issues that we might have, about more research objectives that we should follow up with, or you want to help us with any of the outfitting aboard the boat, please feel free to drop us a line, write us a comment, and well, definitely get in touch. Also, we still do have a few spots on board the boat in May and later on in September. So if you want to join us in real life, make sure to let us know and we'll try to get back to you as soon as we can. Alright, that's it from me this week. See you all again in one more week. Bye guys.